Today's webinar is about grow your workforce. My name is Roosevelt. I'm a principal lawyer here in Sydney with no borders. So it's employed sponsor visas and regional visas pathways. Thank you for attending today's webinar. I'll just start about who we are. So No Borders Migration Law firm. We are a trust Australian visa experts with over 27 years of experience. We're founded by Agnes Kemenes, who arrived in Australia from Hungary in 1987. We specialize in smooth transitions to Australia. So at NB Migration Law, we offer a range of services to cover the complex requirements of our clients within the migration landscape, primarily, because we also have other divisions as well. With a wealth of experience, we can provide the necessary expertise to help you navigate the difficult visa application process. So because every visa we help secures a story of hope and opportunity and a new beginning. We do what we do to guide individuals and families through this life in changes journeys, right? As I said, so we have 4 divisions: commercial, employment and migration, and property law. Here in Sydney, we assist clients exclusively in the migration law space, where in Brisbane, we help with commercial, employment, and property too. But we can, because employment law and commercial law are national laws, we can also assist Sydney clients, Sydney clients. Sorry, long day. Clients based in Sydney with if they have any queries about commercial law and employment law. Right. Okay, so skilled labor shortage, especially in regional areas. So in today's competitive labor market, retain top talent is not only a challenge, but a strategic necessity. So why it is something that you should consider is just because it is cost efficient and competitive. You have access to a wider talent pools, and you can fast track your application as well. So applications coming from regional areas are by default prioritized by the department. So what are labor agreements? Labor agreements are a formal agreement between the Australian government and an employer that allows the employer to sponsor overseas workers for positions where there are no suitable local workers. So designed to address skill shortages in specific industries, regions, particularly in regional areas of Australia, right? Yep, just going to the next one. So I'm going to discuss a bit the type of labor agreements that there are out there. So the first one is the company-specific labor agreement. That is, as by definition, is specific to a company. So it's tailored for individual businesses to sponsor workers based on unique needs, right? Business can negotiate terms directly with the government and ensuring the specific workforce requirements are addressed. This is one of the features of the labor agreement. It's the negotiation between you as an employer and the government, right? It's different from other visa applications where there is no negotiation in terms of what type of worker you intend to sponsor, what type of skills are you looking for, or even the occupation, right? So an example there is a construction company in Perth, a large construction company in Perth, focused on the 2032 Olympic infrastructure projects, faces labor shortages in roles like bricklaying, electricians, and welders. So local recruitment efforts are unsuccessful due to the high demand. So it is within the role of the employer with our assistance to demonstrate there is a skill shortage for their occupation. Um, and there is no other avenue to source that type of worker other than going to a labor agreement. Okay. Now, the other type is the industry-specific labor agreements. These are labor agreements designed to address skill shortage in specific industries such as meat, dairy, aged care, uh, and hospitality, fine dining, and some others. Um, we we happen to have clients in that space, so we have assisted quite a number of clients in the last 6 months in the aged care industry with labor agreements. And there is a well-known shortage of aged care workers um, in not only in Sydney but everywhere, pretty much. And because that occupation is not on the normal pathway for a 482 visa program, which is the normal sponsorship visa, um, you have the option as an employer to submit a labor agreement, right, and get into negotiation with the government around the terms. And um, negotiation here is not as comprehensive as it is in the other one. This one this one has been pre pre-discussed or pre-stipulated by the government. Nevertheless, you still need to undertake some duties and activities so in order to approve your labor agreement. DAMAs. This is I think the most well-known labor agreements. They are specifically target to regional areas where there is a broader list, so expanded occupation lists. There are negotiable concessions. So depending on your regional area, you can request concessions around skills, English, age, salary, and residency. Similar to the industry-specific labor agreements, the DAMAs also um, they are already predetermined by the government. So while you have some flexibility in negotiating a few things, it's actually it's more yeah it's sort of a pre-negotiated or predetermined by the government and what you can ask. Um, just some updates over there. Western Australia introduced a new statewide DAMA in July last year, facilitating the entry of up to 10,000 overseas workers annually. The Northern Territory also signed a new DAMA in March 2025, expanding the range to 325 occupations, increasing the approved nominations to 1,500 per year. There is also South Australia as well. So in terms of what it is, regional area is anywhere in Australia except Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. And as I said before, each regional area might have their own terms when it comes to labor agreements. So we also had the opportunity to work with some clients that are located in regional areas, and we have done successfully labor agreements for them. And it is just it's about understanding how these regional areas work. These labor agreements are operated through the Chamber of Commerce in their regional areas. So it's just understanding the requirements and what they're after and what they need in order to have a successful labor agreement. Regional incentives and DAMA. So employee sponsorship. Employers apply for endorsement to sponsor workers under the DAMA relevant to their region. Labor agreement approval. Once approved, employers can nominate suitable overseas candidates for specific roles that are usually on that list. Visa application. The nominated worker then applies for the appropriate visa, most commonly the skilled in demand visa, the 482, under the conditions set by the DAMA. So the conditions are set by the DAMA are predetermined. And once the sponsorship agreement is approved for you as an employer, you can sponsor foreigner workers under the 482 visa, but under the DAMA program. Okay. So how this helps your business? So key benefits for employers. So one of them is secure long-term employees. So overseas hires are often seeking long-term opportunities, reducing turnover, ensuring workforce stability. Access dedicated and skilled labor. So these candidates bring essential skills, qualifications, and a strong work ethic tailored to your business needs. It can also enhancing regional workforce stability, priority processing for regional visa applications, as I said, cost-effective hiring, as long as the salary is above TSMIT, which is the minimum salary required for the 42 visa, and possibly the market rate, business can manage payroll without excessive overhead. So now with that, a comment is that some regional areas, they do offer a concession, salary concession. So you can, there's an option of offering a lower salary in that because the department understands that regional areas might operate in a different environment. So you can't compare like workers in metropolitan areas will attract more higher salary in theory. So there are some concessions available in case the minimum salary cannot be offered. FNQ, DAMA specific considerations. So concessions, that's something that I've been mentioned here. Skill level 3 to 5 occupations may benefit from a concession up to 90% of the updated TSMIT, provided aligns with the market salary rate. So depending where your occupation is seated in that scale over there, you can ask concessions of up to 90% of the minimum salary required for 42 visas. Endorsement timing. So the Cairns Chamber of Commerce, responsible for DAMA endorsements, experience high demands in June. Early submissions advised to avoid delay. So these areas, depending at the time that you apply, they might, even though you have the regional visas should be prioritized because of the high demand at the time they apply, you might experience delays. So that's why you need to get ahead of the process and start this as soon as possible if you intend to lodge or if you intend to sponsor your worker in the next shortly, right? Updated guidelines. So an updated FNQ DAMA information guide is expected by the end of this week, outlining the latest conditions and requirements. Major update for employers, South Australia DAMAs. So extension of both states DAMAs until 30th of June 2026. So that's a good news. These regional areas will be able to source this program until June next year. This extension applies to Adelaide City, Technology Innovation Advancement, South Australia Regional Workers DAMA. So eligible 482 visa holders under the Skill in Demand program can now apply for permanent residency via the employer nomination scheme after 2 years instead of 3. That was one of the changes. South Australia also offers flexible DAMA concessions on age, income, English, and experience, right? Understanding visa option for your employer, for employee sponsorships. Right? Key visa options and applicability. Skill in Demand visa. That's the regular 482, the most common visa. So temporary employed sponsor visas. Visas can be approved up to 4 years, where in 2 years you can apply for permanent residency. I mean, the applicant enables employers to address immediate skill shortage. The list of occupations has increased significantly in the last since December. Uh, in the last year or so, it was so it is about 400 something occupations that now on the list. So occupations that have been traditionally off the list were included, which is great news. I give an example: office manager, retail manager. So all these years we had inquiries and from clients whether the office manager could be sponsor or retail management manager could be sponsor. So before that wasn't possible, now it is. So and just examples of new occupations that had been added. And now every single occupation there is a pathway for permanent residency, right? Um, with the 186, it's a permanent residency visa for skilled workers who want to work in Australia. Requires nomination by an approved employer. It allows Australian employers to sponsor highly skilled workers for a permanent position within the organization, right? So, and had the three different streams, which is the one that we just, labor agreements being one of them. There is direct entry, and there is the pathway after 2 years. Streams of VNS visa. So the direct stream is for workers who never worked in Australia or have only briefly worked in Australia. Requires a skills assessment for skills assessment authority and at least 3 years of work experience in the nominated occupation, right? There was a big change as well in the end of last year. The list where the list of occupations where you could apply for the direct entry was very limited, and it's now has been it's a bigger list now. So it's the same list that applies to the 482 visa, meaning that instead of going for a temporary visa, an applicant can go for a permanent visa now directly. So temporary residency transition stream for workers who have been on skill in demand visa or 457 or the 482. I don't think there are many 457 still around, but if they are around, then they're still eligible. No skills assessments are required, provided that you have been yeah. There is no requirement for a skills assessment for the transition stream. Labor agreements, the ones that we discussed before, you as an employer need to get into agreement with the government so you can sponsor your workers for permanent residency. Key visa options and applicability. Now, 494 and 191. This is very important for employers located in regional areas, and also applicants too, right? Especially applicants, visa applicants. There was a time that with the 494 was a valid option. It was something that I would advise clients to do it, to pursue. But since the changes on the list, it doesn't make much sense, because you can be in a regional area and sponsor someone under the current program, the 482, the one that I mentioned before, the one that is available in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, and occupation be on the list and etc. They can still apply for permanent residency without having to wait 3 years for it and having a skills assessment and 3 years of work experience, right? So it's just in certain circumstances a 494 is the most appropriate visa, but it's even depending where you are, if there is a DAMA program, around you'll be, it's more beneficial for you to go on the DAMA program rather than a 494, right? So it was created to fulfill skill shortage in regional areas as a, an attracted visa, but unfortunately the requirements that they put are higher. Like the threshold is higher to apply for this visa than it is for a normal 482, which it doesn't make any sense, because if you want to make it easy for people to move to regional areas, you need to make it easier. You need to make easier requirements to meet, But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So um, once you're on a 494, once the visa applicant's on a 494 for 3 years, they can request permanent residency, not through an employer, but through their regional area after 3 years, right? And then applying for the 191. Okay, next slides. Common misconceptions of sponsoring workers and how to overcome them. Misconception, the first one there, the sponsorship process is too complex and time consuming. How can we help? Now we will guide you through the clear steps involved, ensuring a smooth and efficient process with minimal hassle. Then, yeah, our checklists are designed for the visa that you're applying for. We have templates in relation to supporting documents needed, and we guide our clients from preparation until the application is finalized, until approval. Yeah. Second one, sponsorship is only for highly skilled workers. Sponsorship is available for a wide range of occupations. In addition, labor agreements offer concessions that allow you to sponsor workers for roles that may have a stricter criteria in standard visa programs. We help you navigate through these agreements and tap into a broader talent pool, making it easier for you to meet the requirements. Sponsoring employees involves excessive fees. We provide breakdown of the sponsorship costs and an estimate of cost of all the application involved. Like I said to you previously, we assist with the sponsorship process since preparation till the matter is finalized. Okay, we have a Q&A session now. If anyone has any questions, you can put on the chat. Seems that we are okay. We have a few upcoming webinars. The 5 pillars of a payroll compliance, that all some of them are employment law related. We also have visa pathways explained, the best options for New Zealand, moving to Australia, and build a smarter workplace with legal insights for morning coffee. So some of them might be, some of them are employment law related. You can also register here. They are free to join, and so you just need to go to the QR code there, and then it will lead you to the registration page. Okay. As part of our service as well, we offer free consultations to our clients. So if you are interested, you can scan the QR code on this slide, and it will lead to a registration page, and one of our consultants will contact you to book a free consultation, right? So I'm just going to leave a little bit there in case you'd like to scan the QR code. Otherwise, you can also reach out directly to our website or to an email address that's organized this webinar. There you go. Yeah, a telephone number there, and that is the email address in case you want to contact us, one of our consultants, and book a consultation so we can discuss how can we help you and eligibility for one of the employed sponsored visas that we discussed. This is the end of the webinar. Thank you so much for your attendance here, and look forward to see you guys in our next webinar. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.